Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 9 to the Skies. And last time we got this cool looking area finished off and we've got the Zycraft extractors creating some stuff for us in here, auto ore processing set up in there, ignis extruders and the gravel, sand and dust, and all of that is being saved as well. So we've got resources for days basically. But the biggest pain I had last time, apart from not knowing what I was doing with the modular routers, I do now though, so it's fine. Don't worry. But the biggest pain I had was crafting these things. Getting these to the top level was a real pain. So I think the main plan for today is going to be to do some mechanism. And that means getting it all set up so we can get everything we need. That means all the alloys and all the basic resources in mechanism, just being able to access them and craft them through our AE2 system is going to be very, very handy. That means that we're going to need more channels, aren't we? Because we only have one remaining on our controllerless network. So I think it's finally time. I'm going to have to get some controls set up, aren't I? But it's not going to be basic. I'm not going to do basic. No. What I want to do is get a really, really crazy AE2 system going. And we're going to have separate sub-networks for the transport and for all the channels. And it's going to be completely ridiculous. Should we do our first controllers on camera? And I think I need 17 of them. I need one for the transport network and 16 for the actual channels. And where is it? There's so many controllers in this pack. That one. There we go. That's what I need. Oh, I don't have any skystone. Oh. Should have prepared that. That would have been way cooler if I'd have prepared that. And these things, now that I'm not using for my ore processing, these are mine to use. So I can put these somewhere and get these to be used by AE2. So that's very handy. We've got a few there, but we're going to need more than this. So let's grab that. That should be plenty now, shouldn't it? Oh, do you have to cook them again? Okay. And ME controller. How many can we do? No, don't do that. Advancements. Nice. Right, so let's get, can I do all of them? Right, so this is my main one. I will keep them separate. So this is going to be one that all the cables go through basically. And then everything is actually going to be attached to this one through the magic of P2P tunnels. So I'm going to have to craft a ton of these as well. So let's see if I can do this now. So I'm going to need 32 of these attached to the controller. And then another 32 as and when. Should we just do them all? Let's do them all. So we've got 13. Right, so I can attach some of them to the controller. I'll get the rest of that done. I really need to get the fluids done. But now we've got the quartz coming in from sieving the crushed netherrack. That's not a problem. So let's just grab a few stacks of this. And we'll get some fluids done. Okay, those are all done. Right, so that is actually more than I need. Yeah, that is complete waste actually. I don't need that for anything. Don't think I can turn that into anything else. At least I didn't put all my fluids crystals in there. So that's good. Right, so we'll keep those. And I'll just keep half a stack on me for now because that's all I need. But I'm also going to need a ton of the smart cables as well. So that's why I should have kept... Actually, no, I don't need a load of smart cables. Because if we come down here, I've already got the main branch going down here. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to have one controller at one end that this runs off. And that's going to be 32 P2P channels. So that means I can have 1,024 channels going along this one cable. And then I can run a cable off that, put a P2P tunnel on the end of it, and then I can have 32 channels wherever I want along this cable. So it's going to be longer than this. It's going to go all the way down to the end. And speaking of this base, yeah, I've turned it into a bit of a concrete brick. Well, smooth stone brick. And it's not going to stay like this. I'm just doing this to tidy it up a little bit. But then we're going to have some designs around the outside. But anyway, we're not worrying about builds today. We're going to get this set up first. So let me do a little bit of work with this controller and I'll try and explain what's going on. Right, so I've spent a little bit of time figuring a few things out. But you may also notice things look a little bit different now. So we have a different info mod installed now. And that is because I've updated to the latest version of the pack. And I believe this is called Jade, this one. And I much prefer this one to the one we were using before. I can't remember what it's called actually. But yeah, I do have Jade in my other pack. So very happy that that's been done. But the big change in this version of the pack is we now have Draconic Evolution. And I'm so excited about this. But it also means that something I'd skipped doing, I'm now going to have to do. So if you just look at Draconic Evolution, I'm so happy this is in. I haven't played with this mod for absolutely ages. I didn't even know it had been updated. So the Draconium Dust, which is one of the base resources, we get this from sieving endstone. And as you know, I decided not to do this because I wasn't really bothered about the rest of it. So I'm going to have to get this set up at some point so we can start farming this. And it is a really low chance as well. So the earlier I can get this done, the better. But that's a little bit of a way off. So let's just have a look down here at what I've been up to. So actually, should we go through the storage room? Let's not fly. So I've also had to craft up a load more ender gates as well because I have no idea where they've gone. I know I crafted a stack before and I've only used about 20, maybe 30 at most. So don't know where they've gone. I've checked everywhere, all the chests, not in any of the storage drawers, and it's not my AE2 system anyway. But anyway, talking of A2 systems, this is what we've got going on. And yes, it does look like it's a little bit of a mess, but it's going to be very functional. So what we've got is a 5x5 of controllers, and that is exactly 16 controllers. I do have the other one on me, which is going to be the main one that all the cables connect to. But basically, these things here aren't actually connected to this. All they're doing is looking at the channels on the sides of these controllers. So these cables as well, they have cable anchors on, so these are split into groups of 8. So we have 8 cables going around here on the 8 P2P tunnels, and then we have another 8 going along here on these ones. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the top. Let's not do that first. So we'll just put these down. We just need to shift click so we don't go into the GUI for the controller. And it is really this simple. You just need to make sure that you don't connect up more than 8 of them at once. And then we can get this connected to what we've got going on above. And we should have more channels than we ever need. So we're just going to use the Fluke Smart cable and the cable anchor. I've got these ender bags out again actually because I thought those gates might have ended up in there. But no, unfortunately not. Right, so I've got the smart cable. So we may as well just do these 5 along here. And then another 3 there. Then we've put a cable anchor at this end. And then here, these cables won't connect. So I'll put another one there. That is now a separate cable along there. And that is pretty much it. So now we just need to power these and put the other controller in here. But before we do that, I'm going to disconnect everything I've got going on up here so we don't get any clashes. So all I really need to do is if I disconnect this, this will still be connected to the devices that I've got up here. Let's break this so I can just fly up every now and then. So this should still work because I've got the energy acceptor up here and it's connected to this. So all that will get removed is my storage drawers, which, yeah, as you know, is quite a lot. So let's just do that. So now those should only be used in 2 channels because those are the 2 of these things. So I'll leave that on there, but I am actually going to disconnect it from this main line as well because what we need to do is put a P2P interface in there first. So get rid of that, and also we're going to get rid of, where is it, this one down here as well. No, sorry, so let's just get rid of this cable like that, and I'm going to run another cable along here, because all the storage is going to be on the same P2P tunnel, so I'm not going to go off this cable. I'm going to have a P2P tunnel down there, and then have another cable going along, which may sound a bit like overkill, but that's what we're going for. As I've been holding back on this, I thought I might as well go all out. So now we shouldn't have any channels on there. So that means we can connect up this main controller, and we are going to need to power it as well. I'm not going to use this energy acceptor, so let's just get down here. And if we put that there, that is now connected. Now if you look at this to see what's connected to it, it should just be a load of cables, and there's nothing else. And that is always going to be the case. All it's going to have on it is cables and P2P tunnels. It's actually going to be this one that has tons of stuff connected to it. So everything we're actually using in our network will actually be connected to this one via P2P tunnels. That obviously hasn't got any power, but I think what I'm going to do is power this one and then run a quartz fiber from it into the other one. So let's get our ender gates. Really don't know where these went. Put that on there. Oh dear, what's going on there? Right, I'm just going to change this to input only. So that'll go up now. So was it taking power out of here to send somewhere else? Right, so this is fully charged now. Right, okay, that's good. So all we need to do with these is connect up these to here. Right, so this controller not doing anything yet. So what we need to do is power that. So if we just, I don't know, what's the best way of doing this? If we just go off the side of here. No, that's not good because I've got that there. So what we'll do, let's go off the front. Try and keep this slightly symmetrical. Go there. We'll have a quartz fiber there. And then another cable coming off the front. Now that should power that one, I believe. Oh, no. Right, so I just need to connect that to there. And that should have booted up now. Oh, no, actually that needs to be a smart cable as well, doesn't it? So let's do that. Right, so now that should be using 32 channels. Got all these P2P tunnels wired into this controller. And there's nothing going out that side. So what we can do now is take another P2P tunnel, if I've got any on me. I can put that over here somewhere. And then get all this up and running again. So first, let's go off the side here. So we'll put a smart cable there. P2P tunnel on there. And actually, I need to get something else. We need to craft up a memory card so we can set these P2P tunnels. So it's just a very simple thing. Calculation processor and some basic stuff. Oh no, I can't do that though, can I? Right, I'm gonna need, right, I'm going to have to do one manual craft. Good job, it's simple. So it was 1 redstone, wasn't it? 2 gold and 2 iron. Okay, that's that. So now with this, what we do, we go to the controller, and we'll go to pick one of the PCP tunnels. So let's start in a logical order. So we'll do this one here first, and then we can go around this way. So I've shift right clicked on that, and it's copied the configuration into the memory card. And now if I come over to this one, I can just right click on here, and that loaded it from the memory card. So now, if I put that there, I now have 32 channels coming off one face of that big controller. So now I can just use this one as the main cable for everything else I've already got, and just connect this up. So this says it has 2 channels. Actually, no, before I do this, I want to take this janky thing out as well. So this, I actually have this as 2 separate networks at the minute. So we'll get rid of that and that. And I can actually get rid of that as well. I don't need that anymore. And that. Just ripping it all apart. So now this is just going to be really simple, and it's all going to run off that one cable. So we'll just do that like that. And if we run this into here, that should do its thing. And it's now using 7 of the channels coming off this cable. But I also have another 25 I can run off that big cable. From here, I want to avoid touching this cable, but we can run this down here, and this should connect up these storage drawers again. So let's have a look, make sure that's worked. Yeah, so I've got all the gold and all the main resources are in there, but we just don't have the cobblestone that is a little bit further down that way. So let me get that connected up and we'll have a look. Right, so that is all done now, and you'll notice I have a ton more indicators on me. They were in my backpack, and I did look in here a few times, but I can never notice them. So I just shift click my new ones in, and they just appeared. So yeah, let's call that a bug with my eyesight. But anyway, that is all connected now. So if we just come have a look down here, it's still a bit of a janky setup. I am going to move a few things around, but everything is up and running from that big controller through the main transport controller and into all these. So we have another cable down here. So we have this P2P tunnel coming off the main cable, and then we're only using 1 channel on this main cable. This is the important part. And then we have 8 channels coming off there and 1 off here. So that is for everything we've got on the surface and the main storage bus on the storage drawers. And then down here we have another cable going to the other storage bus over here. So that is all connected. It's not that pretty at the minute, but that's why we have all this hidden away. Okay, so I think we're now nearly there for getting into Mekanism. But the last thing I need to do with AE2 is upgrade my auto crafting, because I'm running out of space in my pattern providers. Even though these are extended pattern providers, it's not going to be enough. And I definitely want to beef this up, and also the crafting storage as well. So can I move this without all the patterns going everywhere? No, I can't. So that's going to be annoying. Okay, let's have a chest. Let's have a project chest. I haven't done one of these yet, and I think I'm going to put it all down here. Even though I've got this main cable with a P2P network, I think I'm still going to have this running off here and just ignoring the P2P for now. I'll just grab the rest of these. That wasn't smart, was it? Right, so I've got all those put away in there. Now I just need to run a huge cable. I don't want to make this a bit of a feature, actually. I don't know how I'm going to design this room yet, but I do know that I'm not really going to want to move this once I get this up and running. Let's just go straight out from this side. So let's have this going this way. And the way I like to do my auto crafting setup, I don't have enough of these here, so let me just grab a couple more. So we're going to go with the pattern provider. We're actually going to do the extended ones. I can't auto craft these, can I? Okay, so let's just grab a few of those. And I'm going to turn these into these ones. So we have 4, which will do for the first little bit of the demonstration. And more crafting tables. Let's just get 2 more of normal ones. Alright, this is getting annoying now. Right, so with this, I just want to get all these in here, and I can finish it off properly. So I don't know if this is going to look right. I could have one of these on either side, actually. So what I like to do with these is put them around the main cable like this, and then have the molecular assemblers along here. Like that. And then as you go along, you alternate it. So the next one along, molecular assemblers will be on here, and then the pattern providers will be on this block here. So you can do this 8 long, and the molecular assemblers don't use a channel, but the pattern providers obviously do. So if we do this 8 along, 4 on each section, that means there's 32. So we'll use all of the channels from that side just on this, which is absolutely fine. So if I grab these now, I can just shove those into there somewhere. And we can rearrange this from the pattern interface terminal thingy. Let's just craft all that till only let's put in what can return. Let's just put all that into my network. Right, okay. So let's just shove a few in here at random. Okay, so let's go get my stuff back and we can get the rest of it crafted up. Right, so first job, I want one of these, the pattern access terminal. So if we just grab that and put that on there, we can now see everything that is in all of the molecular assemblers. Now we only have 4 at the minute, but there's 4 rows for each one. So we've got plenty of space, but I'm going to craft another 28 of these. So we're going to have an absolute ton of space. The first thing that would be really handy is if we set up the patterns we need to craft everything to set this up. So if we look at the pattern provider, we'll get one for this, and then all the subcrafts as well, we're definitely going to do those. So that's that. We'll do the crafting table, and we already have one for the planks, and then we can do the formation core. And this is something that we're going to do next, because the processing we're going to do with Mekanism. So that can't do that just yet. That's not a craft, that's a process. So we'll do this. Actually, yeah, I just need to make sure I've got a little bit of fluid dust for now. And then we also want the molecular assembler as well, don't we? Like that. Now I don't need to go back down there. I can just put those into here, and I will organize this properly, but let's just put these somewhere relatively logical like that. And now let's just grab some fluids. I'm going to need a ton of it. Yeah, definitely going to need a lot more than that. So I'll put that into there and get some more fluids, which I also want to get automated as well. But let's just put this in here. I don't think I need anything. Do I need it for anything? I don't need it for the pattern providers or the molecular assembler, do I? So let's just turn all this into the dust. And let's just see how many of these I can do. So pattern provider, I want to do, let's go with 12. Right, so I've got enough to do that. That's good. And I do still only have the 1K storage at the minute, so this will need fixing as well. So let's grab those. And the molecular assembler as well. We want to do that one, don't we? And we'll same number of those. And we've got everything for that as well. Great. So let's go put these down and increase the capacity of this by a lot. Oh no, actually I want to turn those into the extended ones as well, don't I? So let's do a pattern for that first. That. And that. And I'll also need to do the capacity cards as well. And then I'll probably need to do the basic cards. So let's grab that. And I will need to also do these as well, but I do have quite a few of them for the minute, so let's just put those into there somewhere. Okay, so let's do the extended pattern provider. Put those back in there, otherwise it'll try and craft new ones. And get those going. Okay, those done, so let's get these down here. I'll do these first just to space them out. Cross like that, and then we can do the molecular assemblers in between. And then the pattern providers I haven't got enough here, have I? Okay, so we'll just do that. Just going to need to get 4 more to go in there. Well, that's alright. That'll be the same with these as well, won't it? Those in there. I mean, this will still work because it's all on the same cable, but I like to have them all filled in. And I can get acceleration cards in all of these as well. And the nice thing about having it laid out like this, you can actually access them all, so we can just put them all in. We just need 4 more of these. Oh, miss it. Right, okay. I knew that'd happen. Put those in there and try that again. And then lastly, the molecular assembler again. Okay, so if we just put these on here, like that. And then I'll have that there, there, there. And it should be spaced down here somewhere. Oh, yeah, there. Okay, so now, on this cable, we are using 20 of the 32 channels. So we've got space for a few more along here, but I think, you know what, with these being the extended providers, I think this is going to be plenty for now. So I will get some acceleration cards done at some point. But I think now we've got all that there, we can get on with doing the Mekanism stuff, can't we? So firstly, I'm going to do a few pattern providers. What's that doing? Yeah, so these definitely need accelerating. It shouldn't take this long to craft planks. So I've got any acceleration cards. I do have a few, but yeah, those are there now. So let's turn all of those into the extended ones. And I should definitely move this down there as well. So what I'm going to do, while those are doing that, we'll set up some patterns for the crafting storage. So firstly, we need to do these things, the storage components. Like that, and I can do the other levels of them as well, even though I don't have the stuff. So 4K storage, the 16K, and then finally the 64K. Then we can just turn those into crafting storage. And that's just like that. So it's the crafting units. I'll do that one first. The 1K crafting storage. Although I'm going to use those. Yeah, actually, we'll have a few of the 1K just for like the smaller crafts, but then I definitely want to do one of these as well. And then I also want the coprocessor. Right. Okay, that's good. So look at all this space we have for patterns now. This is absolute madness. Right, so I think that should do us for E2 now. I'll do the crafting storage in a bit. We have the patterns there now, but I'm gonna need some auto processing set up before I can actually use that. So let me figure out this mechanism room, which I do actually already have set up a little bit down here. So I'm gonna have it coming out from the side of this tunnel. So we've got all our ore processing and sieving down here. And then I thought down here we could have another room for all the machine automation. So I say it is Mekanism, which it is. That's all we're doing today. But I think if I'm going to have a 32 channel cable coming over here, I'm going to be able to use this for a lot of other things as well. Because I don't think I'm going to use 32 channels just on Mekanism. But we'll see. Okay, so a short amount of time later, and I've got a little bit of a room. So I've got this cable coming off the main branch. So this is the one that's just for the storage, and then we have the main branch here, which is the dense cable. But then I've just run a normal cable off the side of here, and the reason for that is we're not going to send 32 P2P tunnels this way. But this does allow us 8 this way, and I'm definitely not going to use that. I think I'm just going to use 1 today, and maybe another one another time going this way, but that is more than enough. So I've run that cable down here through the floor, and then on here we have another P2P tunnel, and I've already linked that up to the second one on the main controller. And then off there we have a dense cable, and that goes all the way down here. And then we have 3 normal cables going off the side of that. And then up here, one of those cables goes into the back of these. So I have all my interfaces set up here as well, so I don't have to keep going up there to craft stuff. And then we have one cable coming up here with 8 channels, and then another one over here with 8 channels. So first thing we can do, I've ripped out all the machines from up there, because even though I use these for manual stuff, once I get all the patterns in here, I can just do this directly, not have to do things manually myself. So these blocks here are just to figure out the layout of this. So we'll do the easy ones first, because the difficult ones are going to be the infusing factories. And I do need to upgrade these, and I do need another one, but the upgrade should be easier once we get some of this automation going. So this is going to go a bit further out, I think. That's not right. It's going to go here. So yeah, we'll put all these infusing factories down. And I also have some pattern providers as well. And these, I've just used the normal ones. I haven't gone for the extended ones at the minute, but if I do find that these aren't enough, then I can rip these out and replace them. It's not that big deal. For the infusing factories, we need to go one out like this. And I do have some barrels on me. And we have the 4, so let's put that there. And I will explain this in a minute, but we'll just go for the easier ones first so we can figure out what's going on. So we'll go across here 4 as well. So that should now be using 8 channels, which it is. Okay, and then for these, I have my smelting factories. So we'll put these down. Actually, this doesn't look great, does it? Put these down here. Actually, would it make more sense if I push this back one? It would, wouldn't it? Let's do that. Okay, so got those pushed back. So the enriching factory I'll put here, and I may do another one of these as well. But for now, we'll just leave it like that. So these are very, very simple. With these ones that are straight onto the pattern provider, all we need to do is get rid of all this. And then we need to put the back to input output. So what will happen is the A2 system will request whatever it's requesting, push the items into here, they'll go into here, this will do its thing, and then push them straight back into there. We can't do that with the infusing factory because we have 2 different slots. We need to put the enriched whatever it is in there, and then the thing that we're infusing in the top. So we need to do this through a barrel. So let's just get all these set up the same way, and input out on that one. And we also need to make sure, I forgot that on the first one, that eject is on as well. Just turn all these off so they're not pushing into each other, and then input output on the back. Right, so let's start with a pattern that we need. So the enriching factory is going to do all the enriched ones, but it's also going to do the obsidian as well. So if we just go into our pattern encoding terminal and sort this out, and then if we go for obsidian, what we want to do is put one of these in here, put that in there, and say that that is going to produce 4. That'll do that. So we have 152 in there, but let's see if we can get this in here. So if we put that in there, this should now know how to make obsidian dust. So I've got a little plus there, so that means it can do it. So we'll say 1, but it only knows how to make a minimum of 4. So if we click next, it'll say it's going to craft 4 from 1 obsidian. So if we do that, I don't know if it's got the upgrades in. Yeah, so that, as you saw, has already gone. And if we look at now, that has 156, so that's gone up by 4, which is very good. So we can do the same for all the enriched redstone, obsidian, and diamond. So I'll just get all this set up. I'll do this through JAX, it's just easier. Okay, so these all go in the enriching factory, so we can put those in there. Now, I won't do the smelting factories yet, because that is going to be something else. But let's move on to the slightly more complicated thing. What I'm going to need here is some pipes to take things out of those barrels and into the machines. So we'll just get some logistical transporters. And I did start setting up these recipes, but I want to use these. So have I got? No, of course I haven't. So let's just get a few of these, if I've got everything. Which, after I've done all this, this will be much easier. So let's grab a few of those, and hopefully I can do some of these as well. I've got some atomic alloy, nice. Right, so I also need, I've got my configurator on me. This is going to be a bit awkward, isn't it? Because I need to get down below. Let's just rip all this out. Okay, so pipes want to be up here like this, but we don't want them connecting to each other. So let's do that. Same on that one, and same on this one. I also want to do the same there because I don't want to go into that interface either. So let's set up these infusing factories as well. These are slightly different. So we can turn everything off again, and we definitely don't want them going to the side. But we want input on the top, and then we want output on the bottom, and extra on the back. We can also put pipes on the front of here as well. And the same thing, we need to make sure that they're not connecting to each other. Just like that. We can put some pipes on the bottom. We don't need to send them back into the same pattern provider. All we need to do is send them back into a pattern provider. Doesn't matter which one. So, I need to get myself a magnet as well, because I keep dropping things. So, that'll be like that. And then we'll get another one on there that can pull down. I don't need to change these, because they're already outputting on the bottom, which this one isn't yet. And then output on the bottom. Let's just make sure these are alright. So, that one's done. This one's done, just need to do the middle one. Right, that's on eject as well. Need to make sure that's on. Oh, that's already got diamond in it as well. Oh, I need to get rid of all this die. Right, this is the problem with using machines that you've already been using manually, but we'll get there. Let's stick that in there, and we'll grab these, and we'll put those into the one that had diamond in it. The good thing is though, these are already fully upgraded. All right, so now I just need to run this pipe into a pattern provider, and we should be pretty much there. We just then the tricky bit is setting up all of the patterns. Right, so we just need to run a pipe into the side of there as the output from the bottom of these. So if we just run that like that, that should do it. So those are already actually going up in there. Even though we put them in manually, they'll still get sent that way, which is good. Right, so I've still got a bit of diamond in it. And that has used up all that redstone, so that's good. Some of these, get rid of this diamond, and we should be pretty much there. We're going to have redstone, diamond, and refined obsidian, and then this one is going to be for carbon, which we use for the steel. But not too worried about that one at the minute. I just want to get all the alloys processing first. I don't need most of this for now. I think I've got everything physically done. I just need to do all the patterns. Oh yeah, I didn't mention as well, I have some wither skeleton skulls now, and this awesome axe, and I got this from a wandering trader, of course. So 5 wither skeleton skulls without even going to the nether, so happy about that. Right, so where's that? Did I get the infusing factory? Right, oh yeah, I've got my crushing factory as well. I definitely need this one, so I'll put that there. And this is a simple one as well, just like the enriching and the smelting. So it's just the infusing factory. So if we put that there, oh actually I think I need to, do I need to set all those as pull? I think I do, I? Yeah. Right, so from the barrel, I need to set these like this. And I need to do the ones underneath as well, which is going to be fun, isn't it? Like that. Okay, right. I think we're there now. So let's get these patterns set up. So we've already got the ones for the enriched stuff. But let's start simple, and we'll do the easy one first. So for this pattern, we want the alloy. You need to make sure you take note of this number. So this is 10 millibuckets, and from the enriched ones, it's always 80. So from this, we know that we can make 8. So we need to set both of these to 8. This one as well. And then we also need the enriched redstone as well. So if we do it like that, that will now send the iron and the enriched redstone into the barrel. And then the machine knows what to do with it from there, and it will send back 8 of these. So let's give that a go. So we're going to put that into this one. Let's see if we can do it. So it's 245 at the minute. I'm just going to say I want 1, but as before, it's going to say it can only make a minimum of 8, and then it's going to do it. So let's do that. So that's 245, and now 253. So that means it's made 8. That worked. Nice. So the next one is the reinforced alloy. So if we do that, this uses 20. So with this, we can only do 4. So if we do that, take that out, and set that to 4, and same again over here. And then we'll get the enriched diamond, put one of those in there, that'll do that. So again, put this in here, and we'll test this out as well. Alloy, And we already have tons of these anyway, but let's do that. So I'll say 2, but it's going to say it can make 4. And there we go. That's done 4. So just need to make sure that it hasn't left anything behind. Because if we get the numbers wrong, it could have too many in here. Or if there's not enough of this, there'll be some alloys left over. So the other alloy is the atomic alloy. So what we also need to do is do the recipe for the refined obsidian. And this you do in an metallurgical infuser again with diamond, like we've just done. And this is 10. So you can make 8 of these from the 1 enriched diamond. So we'll do that and set this to 8. This to 8 as well. And then the enriched diamond. Just like that. And while I'm at it, I might as well do the atomic alloy as well. So for this one, this is even more expensive. From this, you need 40. So one of the enriched obsidian will do 2 of these. So let's do that and set this to 2. And this one's 2. And then the enriched in obsidian. Stick that in there. And then we'll have that as well. So refined obsidian dust needs to go in there. And then the atomic alloy can go in there. And we have this one now as well, though. So we might as well do the steel. So for the steel... Sorry, no. First we need to do enriched iron. This one. And this is 10. So we can do 8 of these. And I don't think I've got any carbon. But that's alright, because we can drag it in from GAI. Like that. And then this is the same for the steel as well, I think. So let's just double check that. So the steel dust. This is 10 as well. So we'll do that. Right, so that's the enriched iron and then the steel. No, did I do the carbon? I don't think I did, did I? No, so let's do the one for the carbon as well. So that's that one. Now if we go over here, we can put the carbon in there. And then in this one, we want the enriched iron and the steel. Okay, so that technically should be it. Just need to power that one as well, right? And that. And I am going to upgrade these to the ultimate factories. I just wanted to get all this set up so it'll be much easier. Right, so should we give this a test? Let's try the atomic alloy, see if this will work. So I'll just do 1, but it's going to do 2, isn't it? We already have everything though, so it's not as good a test, is it? Right, so now it doesn't have any of the alloys or any of the enriched stuff. Oh no, it's got some diamond there. So I'll get rid of that as well. And the refined obsidian. Right, so now there's nothing in there that you can use. So let's just see if this works. All right, so I just want to make some atomic alloys. I'll do this to 2, and it should go through all this. And this should kick into action, do a few things. And it's going to do it in this one eventually, I believe. No, are we there? Yes, 2 atomic alloy. Right, that is good. So the next step, now we've got all the alloys working, is to do the control circuits. And these are basically just crafts, apart from the first one. So let's just have a look at these. So the first one is redstone and osmium, and this is 20. So that means we can do 4 with 1 enriched redstone. So let's do that. So one of those in there, and that should do the trick. So let's put that into, I've got this, yeah, put that in there because that's where the redstone one goes. Now we could keep this stocked up with the enriched redstone, diamond and obsidian, and I may do that at some point, and then the carbon in here. But I think now we've got all this set up, it's easy enough to do it this way. And if we want to use these machines for different things, we can. So did I do the steel recipes? I did, didn't I? Okay, so we've got the control circuits in there. So let's see if we can get some of those. We already have a ton, so let's take those out. I definitely do like to keep Mekanism stuff stocked. So let's do that now. Let's do 10. I should say 12. Yeah. So that should eventually go into here. Yeah. There we go. They're doing the thing. And I'll clear out the exact amount of redstone. Nice. Okay, so the other ones are basically just crafts. So the advanced one is just 2 infused alloy, which it can make, and it can make these. So now it can make all those as well. And then next level, very similar, but the higher tier ones. So just like that. And then finally, the ultimate control circuit, as you'd expect. So that is it for the control circuits. So we just need to put these into here. And I do have a ton of the crafting terminals now. And the other thing I did was add 5 acceleration cards to each of the molecular assemblers. So these go really fast now as well. So let's see if we can do some of these. So I'll put that in there. Now let's do some of these ultimate control circuits. And let's say we want 20 of those, which is quite expensive. But we've got everything we need, and it knows how to craft it all, so let's just get that going. And we should be doing things. So we're making each stage of the alloys. So the atomic alloys are coming in from there now, so that means it should be pretty much there. So yeah, this to do this manually takes absolutely ages. So very happy that we've got this done. Okay, so now we can basically just put everything from here back in, and then it's got stuff already crafted. And that is the next thing I want to do. I want to set up a way of having these auto stocked. So I'll get all this in here, and we can have a look at that. Right, so I've got everything back in there now, and I've also placed a few more pattern providers over here, and I was going to get all of the inscribers on here, and that is what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do it now, because this episode is getting a little bit too long, and there is one more thing I wanted to get done. So around here, I've run another ME cable, and this is just the 4th one that we've taken off that dense cable, so we have another 8 channels coming up here, and I am going to use them all, and it's for these things, the extended interface. So you can just do this with a normal ME interface, but as we've got extended AE, we might as well use this, where we have not just the normal 9 slots, but we have 2 pages, so we have the 36 slots as we do with all the other extended ones. So all we do with this, put this down with a storage bus pointer at it, then we have another cable at the bottom that just connects to these. So what we do with this is set this storage bus to extract only, and we can put any item in here for the AE2 system to keep a stock of. Now, that doesn't sound too exciting, but what it can also do is if we put this in here like this, right, and we can say we want, we'll set it to 100, but it'll always max out at a stack. So we can say we want to keep a stack in here. Now, I've taken everything out of my system, so there's now only 20 there. But AE2 knows how to make this. So this is the really clever bit. All we need to do is put a crafting card in here, and this thing will go off and make as many as it needs to get this back up to 64. So we'll do that now. Let's craft up a crafting card and we can get that in there. It's this thing here. It should be fairly straightforward. Tell you what, let's do a pattern for it, because I'm probably going to need a few of these at some point. And then like that, and then we can put that straight into this crazy thing here. Let's put it on there. So let's get a crafting card. Yeah, let's do 2, why not? It'll probably get used at some point. So I'll grab one of those, and if we go into here and put that in there, this should now fire up and start making enriched redstone. So there it goes, that's doing that. It's putting the redstone into there, and that is coming through into here. And that is done. So that is now going to keep a stack of that in there, and I can also do the same with the silicon as well, because I've already got a recipe for that. So I can put anything I want really in there, but basically anything that I can also craft, it can just do it for me. So put that in there like that, and those in there. That'll now keep a stack of these, and I'm going to do this with all the processors, because even though we've got this fully automated, if you want a lot, it can take a while. So just having some already there, it just makes the crafting a little bit quicker. So I'm definitely going to get this done. Take a few of these recipes that I've already got. If we just look at what we've got, so these are all the things that we can also craft at the minute. That includes all the processing patterns as well. And I've also just done a couple more as well. I've got the slime balls in here that we did before with the clay, and the biofuel obviously to feed that. And then I've also put one in here for the clay blocks from mud, and then cooking up skystone here, and then into the skystone block there. And I've also got one cooking up Cetus quartz into silicon as well. So we're getting there. We're getting a few things automated now. I'll get the rest of these in between episodes, because we've seen this a million times, haven't we? Just going to put these inscribers all the way down here, set up the patterns as we have here, and it is basically just the same thing. I've gone on a bit again today, but I've got a lot done. Got all of this automation setup going, and I'm very happy with that. So now we can get all the mechanism stuff without too much of a headache. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.